Welcome back. I'm Atlantis Wolf. How are you feeling today? I'm coming to you to talk about your light. This is in conjunction with the video of talking about your shadow. So I'm here with the same tree, my beautiful meditation tree that's close to my house, out in the woods, out in a city park actually, which is why you never know who's going to come by or what kind of cars are going to go by. And on this side, I want to talk to you about your light, because there's great power in your light. But you may not think that there is. You may think that you need to operate in your shadow in order to survive in this world. You may hear things like, life isn't fair, and you've got to be tough. And I would agree that you have to be resilient, but you don't have to be cruel. You don't have to be unkind. You can move into a place where your light, in my case I like to say little Atlantis, the little 9-year-old who's inside of me, who I believe looks a lot like this. Where that part of you, that heart-centered, gooey, I want to love, I want to be loved, but I don't care if I am loved because I am so shiny in my love that it's just going to radiate and I'm going to make more, and I can't be hurt or disappointed because my goal is to be a vessel of love. If that sounds corny, if that sounds like hokum, and you think, oh please, you're out of touch with your little one inside, and you're more scared than the rest of us to take a chance and be vulnerable. What's the worst that could happen? You might get embarrassed. Oh no, not embarrassed, not ashamed, not singing out in public, not whistling. What if people looked at you? What if they saw you were happy? Being happy is very dangerous. I'm a very happy person. I have always been a naturally bubbly, go with the flow person. And it's a gift I got from my mom, and she was the same way. We are wired for joy. We are joyful creatures. I believe everyone is, but if you had met my mom and her mom, you would think, whoa, they got extra dollops of joy for sure. How do you know you're even in your light? Well, if you're not strategizing how your actions are going to be perceived by other people, or how people are going to think about what you're doing, or if it serves the future or the past. If you have a grudge against someone, you're not living in your light. If you are thinking, no, I don't want to do that because 10 years from now I may regret it. That's your shadow speaking. That is not your light. Your light is present. Your light is now. Your light is when you are taking an action. You are choosing. You're making a conscious choice to do something that does not serve you. For example, you could be weeding your garden and you take extra time to take all of the thistle out because thistle takes a long time to take out. You could have just cut it all off and moved on and said, ooh, job security. Or you can take time and dig it out for no purpose other than making the garden look more beautiful for 3 more months until it grows back and you have to do it again. It could be showing kindness to a stranger. You notice that someone is struggling with a package and you offer to carry it up the stairs over to their car, even if it makes you a minute late. And there's really no time anyway, so do it. Help them. Be compassionate. Do something anonymously. Give anonymously. Give a gift card to a family with a new baby that you've never met. Do things that don't serve you, but they serve the greater good, the greater purpose. Be the sun. Shine on everything and shine on everyone. It's terrifying. I know that it is. I was brought up by someone who, the word that was used for me later to describe this kind of person as a rageaholic. That, like an alcoholic, is someone who moves into a rageful state for no apparent reason. It's always like they're pre-angry. They're always looking to be angry at something. They're angry at you, or they're angry at the world, or they're angry at the TV because the basketball player didn't get the thing in the hoop at the right time, and that's a tragedy. And for somebody who is like me, who's just sort of going through life, it is an alarming way to be in that family of origin, that first family. And we were isolated out in the country on a dirt road, which made it worse because I thought that's the way everybody was. And I didn't understand how damaging it is to be angry all the time and to be blaming kids for their actions when you've judged those actions to be good sometimes and bad sometimes, and there's no way of knowing. And so my coping mechanism was to go inside. Instead of waiting for the reaction, I moved inside, and I became an introvert. So I have this vast interior landscape, and I just lived there. I would just say, okay, whenever I got yelled at, because I almost knew right away, this is ridiculous. This has nothing to do with me. Why is there so much anger here? I was too young to understand what kind of issues it came from. And it really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, these are the cards you're dealt, this is the family you're dealt with, and then you have to deal with it. One way or the other. That's what you got. But it allowed me to be very empathic, because I would feel how he was feeling, and I would know sort of when he was going to get more angry. It was like looking at a barometer. I didn't need to see his face or hear his words. I could just feel his energy. And that turned out to be very helpful when I became a medical massage therapist, because people would come to see me and I could just feel what was happening with their body. They may have told me, I'm feeling this or I'm feeling that, but without even putting my hands on them, which usually just confirmed what I believed or felt, I could feel where their body was suffering, where I could immediately tell where the pain was, but also sort of how long it had been there and what it was connected to. And it helped me to hold different points for them, sort of like I'm going to hold their heart, my hand over their heart, and then my hand over their hip, because they're having trouble moving forward into this hard decision. So I would do all the normal massage stuff, but I would inevitably start with, let's just connect this to your heart and maybe to your higher purpose, and never to their head, because everybody is in their head, particularly if you live on Turtle Island here in America. We are greatly rewarded for living in our head and not rewarded for living in our heart. But I'm here as an Aquarius to tell you that's changing. We are moving into a heart-centered, heart-centric, heart-based world. And you can choose to live in it, or you can choose to live in the old world. But there are a lot of light workers here. The light workers working to hold the frequency of light, working to just be in the world and say, it's okay to be shiny. It's okay to be powerful. It's okay to be kind and loving, and let that power come through you. You don't need the shield, you don't need the sword, you don't need anger. You don't need to be defending yourself. You can just shine, and that's enough. So, today, I invite you, as part of the meditation, to move to your light, to move into the giggly part, and ask yourself, if you didn't know how old you were, and you were in a place where you were just joyfully happy, maybe you are like me and you like to be out with rivers and forests, and you're out there for 2 hours and hiking, just poke yourself and say, hey, how old are you right now? Inevitably, people will say that they're young. I know that I'm 9, and I embrace my 9. 9 is a big number for me. And as soon as someone asked me again, like at a retreat, how old are you? How do you feel? I thought, 9. As soon as I said it, it resonated, but it also was so refreshing because now I can embrace the playful 9-year-old and be happy. I've allowed myself to be happy. It drives the rageaholic crazy because he wants to steal the happiness, and I'm just being happy and saying, no gracias. So, it's be kind, be loving, but have boundaries like a dragon, which I do. So go to your light. Go to the now. Go to this beautiful place. I'm going to be meditating here with my tree. The other side, I showed you the roots in the shadow. And this time, I'm going to point it up. Because as you think about your light, think about reaching up to the light. Reach up to the light and let it illuminate what's inside of you. You are a light-filled being, little soul traveler. You are a spark of light inside this earth suit. Touch it. Go touch that little piece of you, that little light in you. It may overwhelm you, being allowed to go inside your heart, being allowed to find that little spark, that little bit of you. No matter what's happened to you, remember the words of Meister Eckhart Tolle. There's nothing that has ever happened to you in the past that can keep you from experiencing this moment. I know you've had a hard journey. I can feel it. I can feel that's one of the reasons why you're seeking help. It's okay. I assure you, there's a little piece in you that's perfectly intact, that's unharmed, undamaged, unburdened. It's alive, it's powerful, it's shiny bright, and it's happy. I'll see you on the other side. Remember to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Reach up into the light. Touch the part of you still inside, shining bright. Thank you for listening, little soul traveler. I'm Atlantis Wolf, and I believe in you.